Hey folks, Quilly here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Rimworld. It is our vanilla ice cream run, is apparently the name I've decided for this one. Sure, it works for me. We've got our very first little Cassandra classic raid that is hitting us. It's just a tribal with a knife, and we're just going to meet them in the field. We didn't quite get our trap corridor set up in time for it, otherwise we'd be able to just handle it with that. But this should be okay. They've got no impressive skills whatsoever. We'll get there. Hadn't realized at some point our double bed did get made. Oh, only poor quality. That's too bad. But I made sure to move Manny and Michelle in there. And then the other thing is we need to flag more of our beds as medical beds so that this again stays as a hospital rather than barracks, just to eliminate one source of negative moodlet. No, Tomo is quite far away. Tomo might not actually be here in time for the attack. Hopefully Manny can just get a good snipe out. One shot, one kill, or disable. But no. You're coming this way. We need to make sure that Michelle is the person who gets the attention, which should be the case. Oh, there you go. Eat some bullets, hopefully get slowed down. Follow Michelle, follow Michelle. Well, you are in bad shape, my dude. You're dead in 8 hours, and you haven't dropped yet? Whoops, no, Tomo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to move you. Chase Michelle. Yeah. Oh, and not dead! Although you have lost a leg. I think, the thing is, I kind of like you. Those are some pretty decent skills early on. Okay. It's going to be annoying because I'm going to do this, which will flag this whole room as a prisoner room, and including the meals, which is no good. We need to make sure the construction happens very quickly. I'm going to unrecruit you. Tomo, you're going to go... Actually, who's our best doctor? It is Tomo. I'm going to recruit you, do a tend without medicine to stop you from bleeding. Manny, are you actually that hungry? That you know what? I'm going to stop you because you're going to eat without a table. I'm going to make sure to prioritize working the stuff down here as quickly as possible. Can't fast forward yet. Need colonist beds yet because none of our beds are flagged for colonists right now. What the heck? Oh, this person stood up! Just punch them! How dare they? Let's try to knock them out. Although, Tomo's just getting bruised by fists, but there's no way this person does much, right? You know what, Michelle, come over here and if you need to, stab him. Manny, I'm going to prioritize working on that wooden wall, please. Okay, they're down and they died. Ah, that's a shame. So, NPCs on your map. So if one of your colonists takes some damage and causes them to fall down unconscious, then they, then they just fall down unconscious. They only die if they lose, like, their brain or they bleed to death or something, right? That's for your colonists. For NPCs, things are a little bit different. When they fall onto the ground, there is a percentage chance that they just insta-die. Regardless of what the damage was, if they get knocked down, there's a percentage chance they insta-die, these NPCs. That chance is much lower when you don't have very many people, to increase the chance that you can capture people alive, and then goes up the more people you have, I think is the way the mechanics work out. We're going to stop this from being a prisoner room. We're going to put Manny and Michelle, very convenient that they both have the same first letter, back in there, and then Tomo. You will auto-claim this, but let's make sure this gets sorted out. Okay, and do that. This is no longer counting as a prisoner room, so people have their beds again, which is good. Manny, what are you up to right now? Oh, survival meals. Oh, over here. Yeah. You don't haul things. I wonder if I should get people to haul this as a priority. You know what I could do is just temporarily, I could say, listen, Tomo and Michelle, actually, let's put your haul to a 1, which might also include collecting random metals around the map, but that's hardly the worst thing. But yeah, I guess they'll do the wood, which might not be the most important. I guess it's okay. And Tomo, a little treatment there. Yeah, it's just a bruise, which is fine. And I do have the bed rest turned off. That's good. Okay, so they're getting some loving, which is maybe a little uncomfortable for Tomo. Oh, I'm also building a dresser here. And I do want this bed moved there because I want to put an end table right here. I don't suppose... Here, deliver bed. There we go, perfect. Because then we'll go and we'll ask for a little end table over there, which will boost both these beds. I also want this construction to happen, but that's okay. Some clothing. Yeah, getting all this stuff inside is good. There's nothing bad about that. We're not getting around to doing the research. Oh, and I still want the extra research bench there. The theory being that we can get all 3 people doing that if I stop overloading them with other jobs. I did cut down too many trees here, which is a bit annoying. In fact, I'm going to go and just put a forbid on these so that people don't haul that. We'll have to remember to unforbid it later. And in fact, we might not even have enough wood in here. Oh, are we out? No, we still have plenty of metal. Ridiculous amounts of metal. I guess I haven't started on the standard crash landed start in a little while. So maybe I'm not used to how much metal we do start with. And then there were some extras on the map, which is good. We need to bury this corpse. We don't do human butchering. Yeah, let's go and do that. Is it under miscellaneous? Yeah, a grave. I'll just plant a tree of graves over here. In fact, Manny, I'm going to get you to dig one immediately, because we don't want the bad thoughts to happen there. And then Michelle, you're on your way back to the base, so I'm just going to shift queue up a prioritized burying to get that out of there, because right now we're getting bad thoughts from seeing dead bodies. Good. Okay. Now they might go, do they go and pray at graves for the recreation in just vanilla? I think they must, yeah. Why does it look like there's something, I guess it's just a ground texture on the steam geyser? Something really weird. The steam geyser is also the thing we have the seam on, but then it's got this odd ground texture that I'm not used to seeing on top of it either. Strange. Normally I might blame a mod, but we don't have a mod. We don't even have expansions. Okay, we're out of wood. I'll go and unforbid this because we still want to work on this stuff. Part of me is like, listen, Michelle, you don't have to worry about hauling this wood. Psychic Soothe female. Oh, well, that's quite good. So 2 of our people are going to have a mood boost. Plus 16. Oh, that's quite substantial. Yeah, that's really good. 8 without a table. I mean, we do have a table, but post-combat or something, they only look for a table within a certain radius. They won't cross the entire map. If they're that hungry, they'll be like, I'm just going to eat the meal they've got. Now, the butchering's not happening. I mean, admittedly, I did turn their haul up to 1, but Tomo, I might... Tell you what, I'll bring this down. We'll leave Michelle on the one for the haul. But yeah, we need to make sure we butcher these before they rot and then try to make a meal out of them. Now, butchering might reset the duration. I guess the meat is just 2 days. I wasn't sure if it would carry over from the rotting body part over here, but I guess it doesn't. And then I think it gets reset another time when we do cook the meal. We're on recreation mode right now, so the cooking's not going to finish, but that's fine. Part of me is like, should I rush this? But we should have a little pause before we get our next actual attack. So this is probably going to be okay. Sleepy, sleepy. Yeah, they got some lovin'. Well, yes, you're going to max out your mood. Wonderful. So mood break slows us down so much. And yeah, I will get rid of this door because there's... Well, no, actually, never mind. I'm going to change my mind. We're going to leave the door there. I guess the idea was I want to move the barricade in, but I don't have to. This does give us the ability, I can close this door and seal us in here in case we get a manhunting pack that we don't want to fight. Although, researching... No, oh, you have no more wood. Really? Okay. Let's go and chop a little bit more. So we can just chop some of it inside the base here. Again, do I want to chop down quite this much? Trim it back a little. We need some around for this. And we're only short 4. Manny, I'm going to force you to go and finish this because I don't like the fact that our base is open right now. Because it's 25 to build. We had 21. There we go. Okay, so we are once again sealed in. Well, this is open here, but we can close it. And it does force people down our little trap corridor. Okay. I'm feeling very secure for this phase of the game. A big map fire would be annoying, since we are doing with wood walls. We do want to get the stone carving soon-ish. But right now, just making sure we've got food and then doing research is going to be fine. Now, one thing I might want to do is prioritize the usage of meat, because it does rot. The thing is, we don't have refrigeration right now, but you can see the rice unrefrigerated lasts for 40 days. It's ludicrous. The biggest issue is actually our cooked meals rotting. Now, if I'm doing a run using a nutrient paste dispenser, then I really don't bother with refrigeration, but I want cooked meals on this particular go. It's what I have decided. For for several different reasons. We don't have transhumanists, or people. Transhumanists would be an ideological thing from the ideology mod or expansion. We don't have that, so if we had it, then our people would mine nutrient paste. It still saves a lot of time, but it also takes a lot of material and energy, and who doesn't love cooking meals? It's just very satisfying, so I want to go down that route. We're nearly done on our smithing. We have an extra knife, but no reason to go and equip that. And yeah, we have the extra end tables and things, which should be adding some nice little boost to stuff. Rest effectiveness, 92%. And comfort, yeah, there we go. The comfort's getting boosted from the dresser and the end table. That's only a poor double bed. We might go and try to spam out a few constructions of double beds just to get a higher roll, but I don't think that's our priority right now. I think we're going to be very happy to let people go into a semi-idle state where they spend some more time researching. I could go and build our sort of refrigerator right here, near some of our crops, so we could have a door going in there. It's not a bad little idea. Partially under the mountain, which does help with temperature control as well. But yeah, right now it's good, and our wealth is 17,000. I don't remember all the wealth breakpoints for various things, but lower is better, and if we can avoid ending up with too much stuff, that would be good. Tailoring start happening. Okay, let's plan out the size of our room. So 11 tiles wide is as far as you can go without having to worry about extra roof supports, like the internal space. So 11 by 11 internal, or 13 by 13 when you're counting external walls. Now, there's no reason you can't go and stretch this infinitely long, and you still don't need roof supports, which is handy. Yeah, I guess I'll do this. I guess we don't have to worry about the prisoner room, but let's square this off. Just going to get rid of this bed for now, and we'll probably deconstruct these walls. We'll square this off, get this space working a little bit better for us. We don't have rituals from ideology that we can do to try to get extra people. Now, the game will have events. When you have people under a certain count, there will be a chance of someone randomly joining you. I think the default setting is if you've got less than 4. So at 3 right now, I think we can get an event where we can get a random joiner. Like, the game actively wants you to get a few more people. It might be like up to 5. It might be trying to actively helping you get up to 5. After that, you don't get the random join events. And I think also that thing I said about like people who get downed have a chance to, they always have a chance to die, but it's lowered early. I think that's based around that same sort of number. So we should be able to get a 4th or maybe a 5th person relatively easily, Cassandra willing, which she isn't always. And then after that, it can get a little bit more difficult, and we're really looking for more captures. Manny's playing some chess. That's good. That's fine. This is the anything period. We've got no restrictions. But you're just looking after yourself. I mean, I don't have an enforced work period here. Well, you did a little bit of cooking, which again, I might want to turn off because I really want Tomo to do it and train that off. I think I will turn off, ooh, that's Tomo. I will turn off Manny's cooking because I really want Tomo to do it as a priority. It's such a thin window. We're not bulk cooking right now. It's just we run out of meals, make a stack of 4. We don't have that much raw food either. I'm happy we're doing an extra round of planting. That was going to cause us to like increase and get like a glut of food, but that's okay. Smithing is done. So I'm going to go to machining next because my goal is to be able to make some of the armor and then get our way up to some heavy SMGs relatively quickly. Or what I might want to do is I might want to get ready for, because I don't, okay. Sorry, I keep self-interrupting my thoughts. Right now, our power is coming from wood-fire generator, which is great, and I've never given enough appreciation and love for in the past. We get 650 watts. We don't have to worry about batteries. Sorry, we get 1,000 watts. We get 650 excess right now. I don't want to chain a bunch of these because then it starts to become more and more tedious to keep loading them with wood. And what we're going to want is the hands-free, worry-free, renewable power of solar and wind. Although we do also need a little bit of batteries to be able to absorb that. So before I go and get to the point, oops, I didn't want the world map. Before I get to the point where I build too many things that require power, I am going to want to have batteries researched and probably solar panels. Because I like a wind turbine does tons of power, but it's very inconsistent. Solar panel is very consistent, except you also consistently get no power at night. But if you get one solar panel, which guarantees you always get some power during the day, and you build a wind turbine, which is going to intermittently make power at various times throughout the day, and then at least 1 or 2 batteries, like you're set for a good long time is the way it feels like to me. I might keep one of the wood power generators. Like if we start to use more than 1,000 watts, maybe I'll leave the wood power generator and then we back it up with a little bit of renewals as a side thing. So we're gonna want that before we generate too much. So the question is, how much do I care about machining early? And I guess the answer is not that much, to be honest. The smithing might be worth it just to create some maces, because I can mine out some uranium and get a uranium mace from Michelle. But Michelle's not actually a brawler. What we really want is 3 ranged weapons. If I was using simple sidearms, things would be a little bit different. Yeah, you know what? I think I didn't need to do smithing right away, although it is leading in the right direction. I don't think we can do Devil Strand yet. It's probably a little early for that. I don't know, drug production. Yeah, I'm wondering about just getting the power tech ready and then moving on from there. Actually, I'm going to research Advanced Light, which might seem like a weird thing in the discussion, but Advanced Light gives us the big floodlights, which one big floodlight can light an entire room very, very efficiently. I'm also going to toggle off refueling this torch lamp. We're going to let it just die off when it runs out of that, which is going to burn for another 8.8 days. Oh, chunks of spacecraft. Yeah, don't mind if I do. In fact, right, I don't have the mod to let me select all of them, because there's probably more ship chunks. Well, hold on, I don't need the components right now. So we don't need to deconstruct it currently, which would just add to our wealth. I'm not entirely sure. The ship chunks might count towards part of our wealth as is. Things like these walls and stuff that are all around the map do actually count towards your wealth, apparently, despite not being claimed. And we got more ship chunks, and I think they might as well. The minerals in the walls don't. But anything you have revealed does. So I think, like, for example, the danger room, I think these revealed walls are contributing to our wealth. I mean, not much, but nothing inside is. We can get some more steel over here, which I don't need currently. We have a shocking amount of steel on this map as is. Psychic Sleuth is over. Well, that's too bad because it was doing great things for us. Manny's going back to research, which is lovely. And that's what we want. Right now, we're feeling really comfortable. So we don't need to feel like we need to push out anything here. If we can just get all 3 people researching all the time, there's going to be 0 complaints from me. Do we want to maybe chop down a little bit more trees to make sure we have a little bit of a buffer for our stuff? I'm going to say yes. Although, again, that does contribute to some wealth. But let's go and chop down these trees outside of our base and just bring them in and make sure that we've got that secured and ready to go. We'll probably want to do some stone stuff soon. In fact, we might want to replace some of these outer walls with stone walls as quickly as possible, just to have a good positive fire break. The nice thing about wood is it builds extremely quickly. The less nice thing about it is that it does burn. Stone walls don't burn. Steel walls do, because it's really just like steel like plates or steel paneling on another core, and things can melt and things, I think, is the logic. I think it's also a balance thing. We got another visitor from the Cricket people. Now, the Cricket people, are they the friendly tribals? Yeah, they're the friendly, well, the neutral tribals. A few items to trade. Unfortunately, being tribal, you aren't going to have components, which would be our ideal. You know what I should do is I should have a door here. That'd be very convenient for us moving around. So yeah, the pemmican, buy the herbals, the great bow. You know, it's an excellent great bow. Should I buy it? Just to get a 3rd ranged weapon. You know what? I will. Even though great bow... Did it get dropped onto the ground? Oh, you're carrying it already. A great bow doesn't have the highest DPS because it doesn't fire that quickly, but I think it does do great damage. Anyway, we'll do that. And it's, to me, sort of feels like a little bit of a waste of silver, but every time you trade, you always come out slightly behind, right? But what we've converted is we've converted some of our wealth into something that can defend us. So silver didn't do anything by itself. A great bow does do something for us. So we've converted some of our wealth into something defensive. And as a bonus, we actually lost a tiny bit of wealth from the trade. I know it's crazy to say a bonus, but it keeps this a little bit lower. Let me go and build this. What can happen? And we might still want someone with a melee weapon. And well, the advantage is Michelle was tough, right? Yeah, because what we could do is keep Michelle here as a block. So if anyone reaches here, they'll engage with Michelle, who's going to be tough and is just going to try to stab at people. She's got the flak vest as well. Does she also have the flak pants on? No, we might want to do a little swap. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Now, I'll keep Michelle with the bow for now. Here, it'll be a force wear, but in practice, I can clear the force. You're just going to be happy to wear that. So we might put you here with a melee weapon to sort of tank the hits. Just keep people pinned down so that our shooters can focus on actually shooting. Let me check our home zoning to make sure we are properly covering those bits, and we are. I guess we're going to want to expand there. Oh, we should do this as well for some maintenance. And I guess I'm going to go and do this too. I mean, we don't repair the stone, so it doesn't matter if it's in our home zone or not. But I still think we might put our little fridge freezer over here. But we will want more power before we get to that point. Okay, recreation period. Playing some games, walking around. You're leaving. That's fine. So yeah, we might swap. So I don't know. Maybe the great bow is a good idea. Maybe it wasn't. But I'm okay with it. More research. And yeah, we'll expand this a bunch. In fact, well, we can't exactly grow it the full way, but we might just be able to do the huge inner area over here. And just have one big space, which is good. Okay, summer's here, hooray. Okay, so now temperature's a lot better. In fact, it's getting a little toasty in here. I might want to replace, yeah, because now they're getting slept in the heat. Above 25, maybe at 25, but certainly above 25, these guys will complain about having slept in the heat. I thought. It was 26 for a second. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's our clothing. Maybe they have to sleep there longer. All right, I'll cancel the deconstruct. But yeah, we're a little bit going to have to keep track of the temperatures over here. Yeah, these are just great places for us to shoot from. It's super short range. I think that might be one of the reasons it tends to be referred to as the shotgun tunnel. I actually don't know. But maybe it's like the idea is if you're using shotguns with their short range, that's a good way to do it. Okay, the advanced lights. And yeah, we'll pick up the battery, pick up the solar panel. We're just prepping a few things. And then it's probably going to be a hard push up to guns and flak vests. And then like deep drill so that we can have constant stuff and component making. And then we're going to be in good self-sustaining shape. I think those are going to be our priorities above all else. We've got a lot of space inside our base. This was very convenient to build around. Research is a go. Nice thing about research is it doesn't add wealth to your base. Let's ask for these things to be hauled out, please, just because they're dirty. Or they're unattractive. Man, Michelle is so busy. Like, she's the one who's going to be the busiest, because she's constantly going to be planting, and when she's not, she's going to be doing these random mining jobs. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cancel this, just in case we do get a prisoner. So we'll have that. We'll just mine this out last, and keep it for now. Here, I can do some sort of prep over here, and again, flag it for a prisoner. Just to be ready in case we need to. Tap, 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 tap. So we're going to get some rice coming in again soon, which is good because we're out of food other than our packaged survival meals. Oh, there's some rice here. One thing I want to make sure to do is under default is I'm going to turn off the raw food. Maybe I could leave on berries because they are safe to eat. There's still a 2% food poisoning chance, but honestly, the rest of it is. We don't have any berries right now, so it doesn't matter. But I don't want them to eat the raw rice or raw meat if that was all that was sitting around. And same thing with corpses. Because if people are desperately hungry, they will do that. They'll eat it last, but if they're desperately hungry, they will eat those if that's the only option. And it can be annoying when you're about to cook some rice and then someone goes and just decides to eat the rice raw. And you're like, wait, if you just waited 2 seconds, my dude, things would have been better. So yeah, that just prevents some rather silliness. Since we're not playing, it's biotech that added all the extra races, right? Since we're not playing biotech, we don't have like pig skins around to eat raw food, so we're not having to worry about that. Man, biotech is such a big expansion. So good. Yeah, we're still not refueling this, so it's going to be out in 6 days, but we did research the advanced light, which we're going to build. We're not rushing for it. We're not rushing to build it, I should say. I guess I can't. Oh no, you can move these research benches. The bigger ones you can't. Michelle, I'm so sorry you're so overworked. You're so overworked. And yeah, it is an ugly environment. I mean, again, some of the stuff that we're storing in here is ugly. Part of it is just, I mean, it's dirt floors and everything like that, so it's never going to be nice. What you can do if your base is outside on regular soil is you can plant daylilies as a way to make your barracks substantially prettier. So this is counting as a hospital with an equal number of each bed. That's interesting. I think I will reflag this as a medical bed for now because there's no reason otherwise. And that just makes sure the buffer. Oh, there you go. You're making a set of 4 meals. So this is Tomo, who theoretically is going to be our primary cook. And then poor Michelle, so overworked, including doing some hauling. Oh yeah, I'd left your hauling 1. Let's bring it down to a 4. You're so overworked as is. I think we probably went and collected all the random bits of metal that were on the map, the extra survival meals. That was the reason I'd set it to a 1. Of course, we're not playing, again, biotech. God, so much stuff in there. So we're not going to get mechanoids that we can use for haulers. It's always going to be our people that are going to be doing it. We can't even make kids to have them act as extra haulers and laborers because we don't have that. Man, this game has some really good expansions, but there is something beautiful about pure vanilla gameplay. And I mean, both pure vanilla with the expansions, but no mods, but then also with none. Okay, we got battery tech. So we're going to follow that up with just solar panel, just to make sure everything is established. And yeah, I think it's going to be straight down this stuff. We'll delay microelectronics for as long as we can, because we're not going to want to build one research bench for each person with the electronics research bench. It's too expensive, so we're not going to do that. The primitive ones, yes, we can move them around, just wood and a little bit of steel. They're very easy to make. If we get some more people, like if we were playing a tribal run with 5 people to start off with, we'd have 5 of these simple research benches. And again, ideally trying to keep as many people idle as possible. Unfortunately, Michelle's never going to be idle. She does everything for us. She's also our crafter, which is sick. But ideally, if we can, hopefully, the first person that we recruit takes over one of these 3 roles. It's going to be a shame because they're not going to compare to Michelle. Right? She's got oh my God, I can't believe how good this pawn is, especially given the age. Okay, a raid, the Kai Nation, prepare for a while. Just one person named Cockroach with a bow. When they attack, they're just going to walk through the traps and die. But I'm going to, no, we'll do a zone thing. I was going to say, I'll just forbid the doors, but I got too many doors to babysit to do this. So we're going to make an allowed area. I'm going to rename area 1 here to walled. There we go. And I'm just going to designate the walled area. Yep, no, that's fine. And like that. And as a reminder with these areas, this isn't determining where they're allowed to walk. It's determining where they're allowed to work. So if you did something like this, people would be allowed to walk through this no man area to reach here as part of their allowed behavior. So it's important to keep that in mind. People can walk outside of these allowed areas. They just won't look for work inside of them or outside of them. Okay, so we'll set this up and then we're going to tell our people, please stay inside the walled area. I mean, they're sleeping right now anyway, so it's probably fine. And yeah, when Cockroach decides to attack, they're just going to go and kill themselves on these traps. It's going to be really convenient for us. I mean, we'll kind of get into our combat position, but there's no way Cockroach survives all this. I don't even want to look at your stats. So you actually wouldn't be a bad pickup. I mean, you're not great. Really, all you do is cooking. We've already got someone who's basically always on cooking. Yeah, I don't think we'd keep Cockroach anyway. If they don't die to the traps, it'll just give us an opportunity to remove their clothing and get it non-tainted. But they did just die to 2 traps. I mean, unarmored people are going to die to these real fast. So our people don't even know what happened. They just slept through all that. They're just going to wake up in the morning, find someone dead over there with no explanation. Tomo, come over here and do remove the clothes, even though it's tainted. We can... I guess it sells for 0, actually. Right? Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. Yeah, no, we can sell tainted clothes. Yeah. Much reduced value, but technically possible. Yeah, see, Manny just got a bad thought. Tomo, could you go and, don't consume, bury. So we don't get as many dead body things. We might want to remake a few more graves here. When Manny has some time, which is going to be now, we've got nothing else to construct. It is stopping them from researching, but this takes no time. And arguably, it is a good way to get some extra construction training. Oh, are you not getting skills ups from this? Oh, you're not. Well, that's a shame. I guess probably because it takes no material. The game, like, well, Tynan, the developer was probably like, well, we don't want people to be able to grind their construction skill just digging graves. Fair. I get it. All right, that construction or that mining is done. Now you'll do a little bit of hauling because that's where you're at. Maybe I'll give you a beat before you go and start some more mining so you can catch up on some of this haul job. Tomo, I'm going to bring down your research a notch because I'm realizing, I mean, you've got the passion for it and I want you to do that, but we might have a hard time doing enough hauling and cleaning as is. Oh, that person was carrying jade. That's really interesting. There you go. A little bit of cleaning going on over here. Lovely. A little cleaning over there because it is part of our home zone. We will do some flooring. We could just smooth this as well, which doesn't take material. That'd be a hell of a way to train Manny's construction skill. So, our fridge. We want to take advantage of the natural rock. Like, we might do this. This isn't as big of a room as we can do, but the bigger the room, the more work the refrigeration will be. So if we do this, and then we'd probably want the doorway, say here, which I'm going to go and just shuffle these things down one step. We're probably going to want to do the airlock. And then the advantage being at the edge of the mountain is we can run the air conditioners through this wall. We could also do our funny trick that I like a lot to prevent us from actually having to do like venting to the outside. I think we'll do this, and then yeah, we'll mine this out because that's where the 2 coolers will go, and this will be a little bit of an airlock setup for the fridge. This might be a little big to start off with. If we go and trim this down, let's trim it to something like this for now. That way we should probably be able to just have 1 cooler to cool this. But the idea is we're going to expand it to have this be the full fridge later when we need to store more food. But I don't want to overdo it quite yet. Is there enough room? No, there's not. For a little cooking table. I mean, almost. But that's going to be a door, right? Actually, this would be enclosed. Unless I want to put the cooker a little further back. Hang on, how much of an adjustment do I want to make here? Because I like having a little tiny kitchen off of the cooler. Let me cancel this. There's a half busted up wall, but that's going to be fine. If I plan the kitchen first, let's say here, so I can put the cooker there, a little bit of standing room. And then the cooler becomes kind of here. I mean, maybe as big as this. We might thin it out this way. And maybe we'll leave some room for expanding. And then I still sort of plan that for the two coolers, the 2 like refrigerator things. And just plan that as a longer airlocky tunnel. Into something like this. A little bit offset. Maybe I'll trim this to square it off, especially since we don't need all the space. And again, I'll plan on expanding a little bit further here. Hopefully we'll, I don't know, I'll put some sort of line here as to try to remind myself like that there's some plans in this direction. But if we do this and put this here instead for the door. Yeah, okay. I think this might work better. I do miss one of the mods I like is a mod that makes it so that the chunks inside your home zone automatically, it just auto clicks that button to haul. And doesn't do anything you can't do by yourself. It just does one click little automatically for you to make this stay a little bit neater, which I like. Do I want that? Yeah, that can be canceled. I'm going to plan a door here immediately as well. Just so that they stays properly indoors. Lovin'. And if it gets hot enough, we are going to need an air conditioner for this. Although we've got enough wood that I can just put a little passive cooler. That should be plenty for now, just to keep this place a little more chill. I'm realizing I would have wanted to leave a little wall segment there too. For the airlock. We might just build a little wooden wall then. Yeah, I shouldn't have dug it out, but we'll plan that. And then that. And then door there. Same thing here. Cancel this one. So the advantage of an airlock is it just helps to keep the temperature stable inside your frozen area by having a little airlock set up like this. All that too. A little bit of cleaning because this is part of the home zone and people are pretty idle right now. And we did have Tomo. We had the slightly higher research priority on Tomo. And she even has the passion for it. But I think right now having a little bit of extra hauling and arguably even the cleaning's not a bad thing. There you go. Good. We might go with a second wood fire generator. The maintenance isn't too bad. But the renewable power doesn't need any maintenance, which is nice. Tap, 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 tap. I might still bust this to put a vent between these two rooms so that this one here could get heated by any heater we have over here. Because if this room is too cold, you'll cook slower, which isn't the end of the world. But isn't ideal. There you go. And then, yeah, we'll plan one more door there. Definitely haul that away, please. And then, yeah, we'll just move the electric stove into this. Should I start smoothing these walls? Maybe. Well, maybe not this one, because again, I think we're going to end up putting a vent there. I guess I got to chop it down first. Michelle, I will get you to prioritize this, which is nearly done. And then, yeah, we'll plan a vent there. And then we'll put a smooth here and here, because the walls need to be smoothed to be able to run power. And that's going to be a Manny job, because smoothing is a construction job, although very low priority. So you'll do the door first, but we don't have that many construction jobs going on. We could also just mine down this wall and rebuild it as wood, but there's no real good reason for us to do this. We'd prefer to do this. Now, digging into the mountains means we may deal with some insect infestations, which is not ideal, but we've gotten better about dealing with them. And one nice thing with the 1.5 patch is if insects spawn under some furniture, they used to just like instantly destroy it. Now in 1.5, and I think it was 1.5, now if insects spawn under furniture, they will do the uninstall instead. And if they can't, and it gets busted, you do at least get the material that it was made out of. I don't know if it's the same as a deconstruction, so you're only getting partial material or getting all of it, but it's a little bit less annoying as the bugs come up and wreck it. They don't just like disintegrate furniture. It just gets broken down into its initial components, which is completely legit and a heck of a lot less annoying. Unfortunately, I got to put a cut in here. I'm enjoying our little run already. What's our goal for this one? I would love to build a spaceship and win. We will see what we can do. I mean, in vanilla, there's only 2 escapes, and it's all based on the spaceship. Either we build a spaceship and win, or we get the quest from the AI that it's somewhere on the map, which admittedly, I've never done. We could go nomadic and just try to get there. We get ourselves some horses or camels that we can ride. We'd go a lot faster and be able to carry more. Just build a ton of survival meals, and there might be a fight at the down spaceship. But, you know, if we show up there with decent armor and good weapons, which we're going to be working towards anyway, and then just mark across the map, I wonder how difficult it would be. I've never done it, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm assuming there's a fight. Maybe there isn't, but I'm assuming there's a fight. And I wonder if it scales based on how many people you show up with. Because it wouldn't be based on your colony wealth, because you're not really in the colony. But like, do I go with everyone, or do I just go with 3? You know, our original 3, or whoever of our original 3 are left to try to escape that way. Is certainly a possibility. I don't know, but we'll put the cut in here, and we'll see where we're at. Thanks for watching another episode, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.